Hi, Ernie. How was your trip?
Good.
Good. Oh, good. Yeah. You get a little sleep last night?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Your son's at whose house are you at now?
I'm at Yaakov's.
Oh, Yaakov. Wonderful. Okay, good. Got a good view from there, right? From there, he's got in his apartment. He's got a nice view. You told me. I think you showed us once.
Yes, very nice view.
Good, wonderful. Okay.
It's very cold. It's very cold.
Really?
It's very cold.
Oh my goodness. So the apartment's warm enough, but when you go out, you need a good coat, huh?
Yes. Yes. You need a
Okay,
good
good.
coat.
Okay, good.
We're on 62, Samach Bays. By the way, Mario,
Yeah.
there's a new person that wants to join the Daf. He's an old classmate of mine from Rambam.
Okay.
His name is
What's-
George Fish. I'm going to give you his name is George Fishman. Fischmann. His mobile number is 818-439-1990. If you can add him to the list of who we send out all our shiurim to.
He wants to join Daf Yomi
Everything, Daf Yomi, the Navi Shir, the Tzurba, just send him everything.
because the Daf Yomi I have to ask you. Johnny is the administrator of that. I'll tell him. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Oh no, Hukpulu Rova Muktzos. We talked about once they put the knives away that they used to cut the figs. So at that point, the Bailim are misyayish from any more figs, because it's sort of like the end of the season. The Ran says misyashim heim mimasha nisha b'sada. Whatever's left in the field, they abandon after they put away the knives. Therefore, mutors mishum gezel. If somebody takes them, there's no gezel. No meisters because it's hefker. There's no meister. Rabbi Rav Yosef Rav Yudah iklulahu asr bizman shukla Rav miktzos. Rabbi Rav Yossi visited a place where this had happened. They had put away the knives. Rabbi have a ka'achel. Rabbi ate the figs. Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Yudah Asamar Hoin, the owner of the figs, Amelu Amaylo Achli Rabbanon. He said, why did Rav Yossi not eat? Hukpul Rav Mitzoso. The knives have been put away. Even so, Rav Yossi didn't eat. Ksavar Mishum Sanyus Milsa Udu Gomer Hadein Gavra. That the man who said, why aren't they eating? He wasn't really truthful about being mafkirit. He was just embarrassed. He didn't really believe that he was misyayish the figs. That's why Rav Yossi didn't eat. Rav Chama visited an area, also in an area where the knives had been hid. So he ate the figs that were in the field. Yov l'sham, I gave some to his servant. Lo, the servant didn't eat. Amar le, echol, you can eat. Kach Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Yosef Mishum Aviv. Hukpul Rava Miktzos. Once the knives have been put away, mutaris mishum ges. Upturis b'namaiser, you can eat them. There's no stealing. Upturis b'namaiser. Rav Tarfon Ashkecheh who gathered as much of a mitzvos to ka'achil. Rav Tarfon met up with a man in the time when the knives were put away. I guess Rav Tarfon was eating as well. The man was upset. He put Rav Tarfon in a sack. He wanted to throw him in the river. So from the sack, Rav Tarfon cried out, Omer lo, oy lo lo Tarfon shezeh hargo. Oy vay to Rav Tarfon that he's going to kill me. Shama hu gavra shavke v'arag. So the man quickly heard who was was embarrassed, and he didn't want to hurt Rav Tarfon. He left the bag as it is, saved himself. Rav Tarfon, for the rest of his life, was upset or was sad. I used my prominence as a Talmud Torah. I announced that I was Rav Tarfon. So I sort of misappropriated Torah, the Keter of Torah. Whoever uses the crown of Torah inappropriately, he's thrown out of the world. Belshazzar, who was the king of the Medes, who had conquered the Babylonians, and he took out the Klei Kodesh and used them, and he was Mechalel the Klei Kodesh. After they took it out of the Mikdash, and it was Mechalel the Kedusha, and we know that it was Mischalel. Shenema uvo pritzim v'chilulua. The non-Jews came and used the Klei Kodesh and it was Mechalel it. Even shapartzim nasuchol. Nekam in oilam, and he was killed. T'chsiv be'beleilah katel Belshazzar. That night, Belshazzar was killed. There is no chilul of Torah, even if you use it. Halachas kama v'kama, that the person would be nerkam in oilam.
I mean, Rabbi Tarfon didn't deserve me. So even if he was a plain man, the man had no right to kill him just because he stole.
But the Gemara is going to say he should have had it. He shouldn't have used Keter Shel Torah. He shouldn't say, "I'm Rav Tarfon."
Right.
We're going to see Rav Tarfon was a wealthy man. Should have given him some money.
Right.
And not use the Keter Torah.
But still, the man, even if he wasn't a Tarfon, though, the man had no right to kill him. He could have saved himself
not.
by, yeah.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Rav Tarfon, kiven dichi ochel dehuklu Rav Tzosava. Now, Rav Tarfon had permission to eat. We already paskined that once the knives of the figs are put away, you're allowed to eat. I might say, why did this man bother Rav Tarfon? So Mishum Davi Ganvile in Vikula Shasa. This man was being afflicted by Ganovim, who was stealing his grain. He saw Rav Tarfon eating the figs. He figured, this is the Ganov that's been bothering me a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I might see an upshade. So Rav Tarfon had to save himself. Why was he upset his whole life that he used his Keter Shel Torah? He said, I'm Rav Tarfon. Because Mishum Rav Tarfon, Asher Gadol Haba. He was a wealthy man. He should have given him some money. And not to say that I'm Rav Tarfon. Tanya. La'avas Hashem lokecha, lishmo b'kolo davka bo. You have to love Hashem. You have to be doivik in Him. Shelo yomer adam, ekro sheyikruuni chacham. You know what I'm going to study, so they can call me a Talmud Chacham. Eshna sheyikruuni Rebbe. I'm going to study Torah, so they'll call me Rebbe. Hashamein sheyezokin ve'eshav yeshiva. I'm going to be one of the zakenim to sit in yeshiva. That's why I'm studying. It means you're not studying lishma. You were studying for some ulterior purpose. Ella, rather, lamad me'ava. You should study Torah from Avos Hashem. You want to be dovik in Hashem. The sofa kovid lavoi. Memela, the kovid that is due to a person will come. Memela, shenemar. Kashrem al etzbosecha, kosvem aluach libecha. Means the Torah is going to be written on your fingers, on your heart. The oimer, dracheh darchinoyam. Its paths are pleasant. The oimer eitz chayim hilamachzikim bo. The sonchem ushar. The people who support Torah, l'shem shemayim, they'll be zoich the oisher v'kovid. and shalom, even oil mazeh. Rav Lezer Rav Tzadok Omer, I said vorm l'shem po'olam. Do things for their own sake, not for another purpose. Don't have an ulterior purpose. The Daber B'hem Lishmam, and the Divrei Torah should be learned Lishma. Al Tasim Ator Lizgadol, don't make it a crown for you to grow with. Al Tasim accordingly as order, but don't make it like a pickaxe that you're going to use to, shovel the ground. Don't be mishtamish with it. Belshazzar used clay kodesh that turns into clay chol when you use it. Yet, which remains chai v'kayim, halachas kama v'kama, they will be nekam in the oilam. However, Rava says la halacha, if you go to a town that doesn't know you, you're allowed to inform them that you're a Talmid Chacham. You're allowed to inform them who you are on Rava. That when Ovadia, the Navi, introduced himself to Eliyahu Navi, so he would know who it is, he says, me, your servant, am a Yiras Hashem from his youth. Okay, Elakasha Drav Tarfon. Okay, if you're allowed to inform, obviously whoever Rav Tarfon was with the man, they didn't know who he was, so he's allowed to inform them according to Rava. So the Gemara says it's different by Rav Tarfon to Osher Gadol Haim. Like we said before, he had other means of having the man save his life, not necessarily by using the Ketesh of Torah to say that he was Rav Tarfon. Rava Rami, Ksiv Avdecha Yoreis Hashem Minora. Rava brought the pasuk of Ovadia, Ksiv Yalecha Zar V'lo Picha, that another person should praise you, not your own mouth. So Haba Asr Diyadile, in the community that knows you, you shouldn't praise yourself. Somebody else should praise you. But if you go to a community that doesn't know you, Haba Asr Diyadile, you can introduce yourself who you are. A Talmid Chacham can say, I'm a Talmid Chacham. Sharle Tigroi Beresha. I want, when he goes to Bezdin, I want you to handle my case first, because a Tzurma Rabbanan is allowed to be adjudicated first. Dichsiv Uvnei David Kohanim Ayu. We learned in Shmuel Beis, they weren't Kohanim, but they were officers. And therefore they had first dibs. Makoy Noitel Beroish, Av Talmid Chacham Noitel Beroish. A Talmid Chacham takes the first, like a kohen takes. Kohen minolon. I know that a kohen gets first. To receive the kidashto kias lechem lokecha hu makriv. The Torah very shol the kidashto l'chol davar shebedusha livtoach rishon. He should get the first aliyah. Hi Harold. L'varach rishon. He should bench first. Kamana yafa rishon. And he should get the best portion when they're divvying out the barbecue. The kohen gets first for kidashto. We're on Samach Beis, Amid Beis, near the top. Amar Rav Shoyla Rabbanon Lameimar. Talmid Chacham can identify himself, and why lo yavina karka? I'm not going to pay the tax. This was land property tax. They could get out of property tax if you were Talmid Chacham. To see min devlo v'halach lo yishalat lemirmei alehain. So pasuk in Ezra, that for the Kohanim and the Levim and the Ovdei Hamikdash, they were potter from the tax. And the Gemara explains, Amar Rav Yehuda Minda Zumanasa Melech. That's a king tax that went to the king. Below Zukesav Golgota, that's a head tax. Every individual paid. V'halach Zu Arnuna. There's also some kind of state tax. Amar Rava. He could even say, remember the Kohanim of the Persians, the Persian priests, the Avodah Zaraniks, they worshipped fire. And the Talmid Chacham could also say, I'm like a clergyman. I also worship fire. Because the fire priests were potter from taxes. So the Talmud Chacham could say, they could use that term, like to say, I'm a member of the clergy. My time, he's just getting rid of a lion that's trying to take away money. Ravashi had a big house. Zavne lebenura. I'm sorry. And Abba's a forest. He had a big forest. Zavne lebenura. He sold it to the Kohanim of the Persians who use it for fire. Now, l'chora, they're going to use it for fire and for avodah zarah. You're participating in their worshiping avodah zarah. The majority of these trees in the fire are going to be used for firewood, not for avodah zarah, and that's enough. We don't have to worry that they were going to be used dafka for avodah zarah. Now, if a person takes a neder ada kotzir until the harvest, so the neder goes until the people start harvesting wheat, not barley. Depends on where he is. That's what they had. Imai bahar. If he lived in a mountain and they harvest earlier in the mountain, they follow that minig. V'maya babika, if it was a valley, babika, it has to do with the katsir in the valley. If he takes a neder ad akshamim or ad shiyu akshamim, ad sheterid revia shniya. It's this. There were three. There was the first rain, the second rain, the third rain. So, if he says akshamim, it usually means the second. Each one, revia, is the lashon having relations, like the rain is having relations with the ground. The first revia is Gimel Cheshvan. Zayin Cheshvan. That's the Via Rishoina. We'll see what the Gemara says. You don't have to actually wait to the rain itself, just the time of the rain, which is a certain date. We'll see what that is. If you say until the rain stops, so neder goes Nisan Kula de Reb Meir until the end of Nisan. A week before until Pesach is over. Tanya. You make a neder that you're not going to drink wine until the summer, and you're in the Galil. The Yorad Lamokimi went down into the valleys. Even though summer has hit the valley already, you have to wait until Galil because you took the neder in Galil. Until it actually rains the second rain. Just until the Zman. Amrav Zera. Machloikes to Amar Adag Shamim. Aval Amar Adag Geshem, that's Adzman Kshamim Komar. It actually is when the rain falls. Mario, I'm going to teach you another blot.
Hold on.
So that way we're on the daf.